30 minutes out of this if we can. I'm sure we can. We always can.
Well,
Yes.
if you saw the trade rumors with AJ, we can talk about that.
We can talk about that first. Just because, we'll have to talk about it until it actually happens.
Got another what? 30 was May is 31 days, right? 12, whatever the fuck it is. Whatever.
Doing some math. Hi,
Whatever.
everybody, and welcome to the Philly Fan Radio. I'm John Meyer along with Dan Palmieri, and yes, we were discussing the trade rumors. And, Dan's trying to do the math and the calculations here. Dan, how many days before June 1st, according to this recording, before the trade officially happens? And we're saying officially because this should have been talking about it for months.
Well, 12 days, if I know how to add and subtract.
12 days of Christmas here. Okay, so every day it will be Christmas soon when the trade does happen. And what trade are we talking about, of course?
AJ.
So excited. You know what? So here's the thing. AJ just got married this past weekend, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, he did.
Did you hear that Hertz was not there?
A lot of players weren't there if you read on it.
Yeah, but I think, out of all the players, why isn't Hertz? Isn't he the godfather?
He is. Something happened there. I don't know what the hell it is.
Can we speculate?
Yeah, you could speculate that they're adult males and they should just get their heads out of their asses and win championships because championships generate money, but obviously one of those people is a whiny little bitch, so.
I wonder which one that is. Does it start with an A?
It may. Knows? It may.
It definitely may. Listen, I can't wait till this actually happens. We all know it is, regardless of how he is talking about when he's on How Much More. You're going to get a different answer from me. The trade is going to happen. Who is going to happen to? Our assumption is to the Patriots, right?
Yeah, I mean that was the name that was floated out there this entire time, and now whether it's them drumming up more value to, floating out fake rumors or whatever, there are other teams that are starting to get a little more involved in it. So the price could go up. It could stay stale. But specifically, there was one that caught my interest. And as we lead into it, we'll talk about it, with Jacksonville. That was one that caught me by surprise, but it was actually a confirmed report by Jason Lockenfora, I think his name is. He's actually a legit writer, and it was mentioning that Brian Thomas Jr., their receiver, might be on the block. So a swap of wide receivers and perhaps some draft compensation, which I think is interesting because, the Eagles do have a plethora of depth now, but if you can get a player like Brian Thomas Jr., who put up 1,200 yards in his rookie year, last year was a bit of a down year, but if you can pair him with Smith and move Mekhi Lemon to third, or, they're saying he's going to play slot anyway, so who knows, but that'd be an interesting pairing. I think it's rich people problems if they get Brian Thomas Jr., but it's just an interesting thing because I think it's going to be hilarious with this Patriots thing because there's a chance that he goes to the Patriots, and if this thing keeps blowing up with Vrabel, who knows? Vrabel might be fired.
Do you really think that's going to happen? The Patriots have been known to have a lot of issues between Deflategate and, some scandals with Kraft and everything. I think they're immune to anything that happens. It doesn't matter. They're just, if this scandal continues on, Vrabel will just be, and he wins, right? This scandal will kind of be pushed to the back. Or if he's losing, people will feel really sorry for him and this scandal will be pushed to the back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think it's going to happen. It's just funny to think about it. Mainly because it's a personal issue. It's not like it's not like detrimental to the team type of conduct. It's a personal conduct thing, and there's really no guidelines for committing adultery in the NFL world. So who knows, but
If that was the case, everybody would be on it. No, not everybody, but a good number of people would be on the list. That thing, and I think one of the guidelines that the NFL does have, or a lot of the teams have, is that if it's detrimental to the team, and I use those words very lightly, is if you're doing anything against the law, right?
Yeah.
They don't like that. That's the time where they're going to cut bait and get rid of you. If there's a scandal going on, I don't know. I think Vrabel has talked to Kraft, and they're all on the same page, and Kraft's like, yeah, I got you. I know where you've been. He's just doing his shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. So back to the AJ thing. I would be really surprised if we're all speculating the Patriots, and then all of a sudden, come June 1st, Jacksonville or the Raiders step in and swipe them in. As it gets closer to the time, people are like, we didn't get much for the draft, so we need to get something now.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think it's going to be the Patriots. But maybe the price is driven up. I don't know. I don't think they'll go with the Jacksonville trade, mainly because I don't see them getting the compensation they want. Plus, I think they're kind of moving away from AJ too, because you don't want to have to keep paying two top flight receivers that kind of money, especially with the way the market is just getting jacked. And Devontae Smith he deserves more money. So you're going to have that. You got a 1-year deal on Hollywood Brown. You got essentially, I think it's a 2-year deal now with Wicks, because you extended him 1 year. So you're going to try to fill that second role with value with Wicks, but you're also hoping that Lemon's going to come in and be this superstar. So God forbid you want to pay 3 superstar receivers at that point. So I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, we'll see as it gets closer. And the other thing that I want to kind of overlap is that Dan and I did the Eagles Autism Challenge with my son, Jordan. It was about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. A really cool thing. The other thing, and before we go back to the Eagles Autism Challenge, that was actually the first time since AJ has joined a team that he wasn't there.
So I found that interesting. I did see that, but I don't remember seeing him last year.
Do you really think he was out there riding, though?
No, not riding, but neither was Hurts, and they ended up on the podium. I don't remember seeing him there, but I guess he was.
Well, they had the VIP section. So last year, what they did is they had a VIP section on the field, and they had the field and everything laid down for it. This year's a little bit different because of the World Cup being at the link. Mm-hmm. They just replaced the grass. Nobody was allowed on it, so they did it around the concourse, and the VIP section happened to be in our club section. So you couldn't see who was going up there.
Mm. Yeah, I think the writing is so on the wall. It's the worst kept secret in the world that he's going to be traded. And he knows it. It's just, at this point, I think it's actually a good thing in terms of player, like, morale and everything, because it's going to happen. It's not going to be like this sudden, oh crap, we just traded a star and the locker room's going to be on edge. Everybody knows it. Everybody pretty much knows the reasoning behind it. So there's not this whole you got to pick sides thing. It doesn't matter who you are on this team. If you got a problem and you basically come out and say it's either me or the star quarterback's going to win anyway.
Oh, exactly. And one of the things, and I think the longer this progressed, the easier it actually has become, because there are a bunch of friends of AJ on the team. And when he goes, they're not going to be, excited that he's leaving, but they will fully understand. And I think the locker room's going to come back together. I really think this is one of the things that has offset the team, regardless of how Hurts has played or the offensive coordinator position has played out for this team. I think the locker room, and I'm hoping it just turns completely around along with the offensive coordinator. There's so many mixed variables.
Yeah, I think without the veteran leadership that they have had over the years, that I think the situation would have gotten a lot worse. There would have been more leaks. There were a lot of leaks, but there would have been more. It would have been more amplified. If you have a young locker room that doesn't command respect, that, AJ can basically just trample over them and just go nuts. But I think because he was kept in check a little bit by the veteran leadership, it was kind of unnoticed at times, but you just saw it. It spiraled out of control. yes, he may have been speaking the truth. You know, the offense was bad, the passing game was bad, whatever. But going on Twitch and going on social media is not the productive way that a professional should be doing it. No. And there's just nothing good that can come of having these out in the open discussions. It's not the way you conduct business. It really isn't.
No, not at all. Now, everybody, we didn't actually plan to jump on here and talk about the AJ stuff. Dan just mentioned it, and I was like, oh, man, we're just going to dive into it. I'm going to transition over to the Eagles Autism Challenge real quick, and I want to talk about it before we get into the Eagles schedule. And we'll probably wrap up with the Eagles schedule and some of the practices that are happening, and we can't wait till the season begins. Dan, the Eagles Autism Challenge, there were over 500 riders. Now, why that doesn't seem like a lot, 500 riders for the 10-mile Wawa hoagie ride throughout the city. If you looked at it from a drone perspective, that was a lot of riders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it didn't seem like it was that much, to be honest with you, but the turnout was, of course, really great. They topped their donation, from last year, so there was that. I kind of felt that maybe there wouldn't be as much turnout because of the state of the economy and everything, but it was really encouraging to see. It was the rain held out, so it was really nice, and turned out, as always, it turned out to be a great event, and just doing it for charity, doing it for the cause was amazing. And, getting to see the players, I mean, again, this year we ride past Mailata, we ride past Cam Jurgens, all these players that you typically would see on the field that you think are larger than life, or just riding a bike next to you, and it's kind of cool, to see that.
Yeah, so the Eagles Autism Foundation raised $16 million for Autism Foundation. It was awesome. I mean, congratulations. Now $16 million in this time and age doesn't seem much, but that was contributed by all of the people who donated, and they were coming out for it. So it was a great cause. You were talking about the players. It was really cool. I got a chance to catch up to Mailata. He was off to the side, and then he hustled up, and then all of a sudden he was slowing down. And I mentioned, I was like, what, you winded? Did you lose your steam? And he's like, no, I promised my wife that I would ride with her this year. Last year, I just kind of took off and was going. But you look at this guy, and he's just having fun. He's just full of life and enjoying every aspect of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he one of the most genuine, nice guys you'd ever meet. You wouldn't think that he's a professional football player and makes all this money, because he's just so down to earth, and it's good to see that. It really is, because you get players that are really, their shit don't stink type of deal, and that kind of sucks.
Yeah, you know what? So what was pretty cool is last year, my son Jordan got Jordan Mailata's signature, actually on Jordan Mailata's helmet. I've told this story a bunch of times. Basically, he was trying to get a picture, and he was being rushed off. My son held somebody else's phone to help them get a picture, and then he ran off almost. He felt bad, so he gave him his bicycle helmet last year. And then we were actually able to catch up with him in the VIP section, though we weren't VIP, and he's like, ugh, and he quickly signed his name. This year, Jordan signed his helmet again because he brought it down to ride it, and it was freaking awesome that he did it. It was the only signature that he got because it was really busy. So that's the type of person that Jordan Mailata is. And Dan, we ran past Jurgens and was it Patterson?
Yes, yeah.
And I'm not sure which one. I haven't even looked, so I GoPro'd it all, whatever it is. They actually really digged my tattoo. They were like calling it out and everything. I thought that was cool from a personal perspective.
Yeah, I had the long sleeves on. They didn't see all my tattoos, unfortunately.
They didn't see all your Eagles gear. Though I will actually put it out there, Cam Jurgens didn't seem too pleased that you asked him about his knee and how well he was doing. I mean, I don't want to, talk bad, but he just wasn't very, maybe it was like one of those things you just don't want to jinx.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell it was. I just, the big elephant in the room when it comes to him is, hey, how was whatever the hell it was, Costa Rica or wherever the hell you went to get the stem cell? I was just casually saying, hey, how's the knee? And kind of just miffed about it. I don't know. It's okay. Yeah. Okay, thanks.
He was paused a little bit, didn't kind of like really respond, and it was, a little like, do I have to answer this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if he wanted to keep it a secret, yeah. That didn't work.
That was a bad secret. ESPN was all over that.
Mm-hmm.
So And when I think about that, and you asking Cam Jurgens, I remember when the Eagles were practicing at Lehigh University, and they had the tents there. And when you were part of like the VIP, and I got some free VIP tickets or whatever it is, a player would come in and it'd be a meet and greet, and he would sign the stuff. Corell Buckhalter was in it. Remember him?
Oh,
So
yeah.
he was doing great. It was right before preseason, right? And you know where training camp was in Lehigh if you've ever been there. And I asked him, how are you feeling? And I swear the next game he went out and tore his ACL. And it's very tough for me to ask a player how he's doing or if something's healed.
Well, way to go.
I know. It's like one of those jinx, but I'm sure everybody else asks. But I always correlate it to that.
I definitely miss those Lehigh days. It really got the average fan to be up close and personal. I know everything is political now and, line up and you got to get special passes for training camp, which is fine. But just having that experience, I remember those old days of going there and just seeing like Jim Johnson and Brian Dawkins and Corell Buckhalter.
Damn Chip Kelly. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, fucking guy.
So the other player that we saw on it was Dickerson. And Dickerson was out riding, and I asked him about his knee and how he's doing. I was like, not bringing any beers to training camp, are you? He's like, no, I got in trouble for that. I was like, what? And he's like, and he tells me, he goes, well, apparently you're not supposed to bring a beer or have beer out in public of a non-sponsored beer provider for the NFL. I was like,
Oh, God.
well, go figure. I was like, well, hopefully you didn't get like fined or anything. He goes, oh, I did. I was like,
Jesus.
man, any way to nickel and dime you guys to fine? He's like, yeah, we got it. I mean, I just found that hilarious that they fined him for bringing not the beer to training camp, but the wrong type of beer.
Really? I didn't know that. That's ridiculous.
Yep.
That's so dumb that, I guess now he's going to have to bring Bud Light. It's not like he's holding up the damn cam and trying to like say this is promoting it. I mean, it's so stupid. As if the NFL doesn't have enough money.
And that was really the same day after his knee surgery, right? So
Yeah, I think it was because we both laughed about how he was bringing in beer and how he was basically at the team functions instead of just with his leg ups.
Yeah, but I think he had his meniscus repaired, right?
Yeah. It was because he played injured in the Super Bowl. He had to delay the surgery and everything.
Yep. So the meniscus, when you do it, it's actually really cool. I've had both my knees repaired on it, and they just trimmed the outer edge, and because sometimes you get that hangnail, and you can literally walk the same day. You shouldn't be lifting and all that stuff, and you should be resting, but you can literally walk out.
And I'm sure alcohol helps with the Percocets.
Yeah, it's definitely something you shouldn't mix with any of that. All right, so let's transition over to the Eagles schedule. It was released a couple of days ago. Dan and I like to wait a little bit till the hype and all that stuff runs down, and everybody else is posting about the schedule. Dan, let's talk about the schedule up, and I'm going to bring it up. What are your feelings? And let's break this down game by game a little bit. Actually, let's talk about the preseason. So the preseason, we have week 1 against the Ravens, and it is in Baltimore. Week 2, the Eagles versus the Patriots. Oh, my God. Wait a second.
Joint practices?
Oh, that would be pretty cool. That's probably what's going to happen or something like that. You know what?
I hope they do joint practices. I'd love to see Quinion lock up AJ all day.
Why couldn't they put that at home? That would be freaking awesome.
They're afraid.
That preseason game would be packed. Everybody would go to it just to see if AJ would play.
Mm-hmm.
And then week 3 is their only home game in preseason, Bengals versus the Eagles. And you know what? We're not speculating on preseason because it's preseason, and we don't. It's nice to have it. In fact, I'd be okay if there was one preseason game and we got right to it.
Yeah, I think that they're talking about making another regular season game and cutting down to 2 preseason games, but they're also talking about having a secondary bye in there if they're going to keep extending, which I completely agree with. I mean, that's fine. But the preseason, you would think, okay, with Sean Mannion and all these new offensive philosophies, you would think you're going to see the starters play and work out the
Yep.
kinks and do all this stuff. But if it's typical Nick Sirianni fashion, they're not even going to see the field. So they're going
No.
to have their little joint practices, and they're going to try to sell us on how, oh, those are game reps because they play just as intense and everything, and we won't see the starters. So,
Please, there's no
but
tackle.
we'll see the Red Rocket, some Andy Dalton action.
All right. Yeah.
Yay!
Why am I not thrilled? Okay. All right, so Dan, and we'll specify if these are home games. So they finally have. Last year, they did not have a home game to kick it off. So their first home game was somewhere in mid-September. Their home game is against the Commanders on September 13th. Can't wait. Yeah, I mean, Jaden Daniels, he was great the first year, right? And then last year, nothing, injured, and
I get their whole, divisional game to start the season, but I mean, that's just ugh.
yep. Everybody, we'll talk about this strength of schedule as soon as we're done talking about the schedule. But look at this lineup. I mean, we're going from Commanders to Tennessee, September 20th, an away game. I mean,
Yeah, it's weird. Like the schedule this year is weird because last year it was like home away, and now we're gonna see consecutive away games or consecutive home games. So
yep.
I mean, I do like in terms of the second game, I do like having an away game against an inferior opponent so that you're not in a hostile environment. I mean, though, even though it's September, there's probably only going to be like two fans in the stands. Well, two Titans fans.
Two Titans fans.
Exactly. Yeah.
Eagles fans travel well.
It'll be a capacity of 70K at the stadium with 68K being Eagles fans. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I think, Dan, you know what, Dan, as soon as we go through this schedule, let's come back and do a win-loss on this.
Okay.
What do you think? All right. So I'm going to have to get my, stuff out, and I'll just start writing down as we go through it. Okay. So in week 3 against the Bears.
The Bears.
Yeah. I think based off the strength of schedule, the Bears have supposedly the hardest schedule.
Yeah, and it's a Monday night game, so it'll be interesting. I mean, the Eagles are really littered with primetime games this year, so we'll see if they get flexed out or anything, but just a weird, a Monday night game against the Bears should be good, though. I mean, the Bears are a good team. I think I'm in the minority that thinks that they're not that great. I don't think that Caleb Williams is that great, but then I'll get people that say, "Oh, look at what Caleb Williams did," blah 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 blah. And every time I watch the game, I think he reminds me of Brett Favre. He's just slinging the ball out there, and he'll throw like a million interceptions, but he'll also throw a million touchdowns. So, just not a big fan.
1-to-1 ratio. Now, I think this is they have to win this game, and the reason that I think they have to win this game is because their Black Friday game was dismal. It was horrible to watch and I just think they just need to come out and literally slaughter them. And I know offense and stuff has changed. I'm hoping they worked out a lot of the kinks by week 3, but we'll see.
It couldn't look any worse.
All right, so week 4, we've got October 4th against LA.
Yeah, at least it's at home. That is really going to be, I think, the measuring stick. You got these early games, typically you don't hit your stride till later, but I look at the Rams as the class of the NFC right now. I know Seattle won the Super Bowl, but I really think that the Rams are the most explosive team in the league. So I think that's going to be the game that's really going to show you, are the Eagles going to be for real this year, or are they going to be just a middle-of-the-road type of team?
Yeah, you're going to see how the offense actually started. This is by week 4. I don't want to say most of the kinks should have been worked out, but you're going to see if the kinks have been worked out from the plan. You're going to see if Hurts is under center more, if he's run around like crazy, if this offensive line is going to hold up, that's really where it's going to come out and start to see where they're going to progress throughout the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think it's good that there's reports out there that like Hurts is being really receptive to the change in offensive philosophy. So can we just put to bed that whole, oh, well, Hurts is stuck in his ways. Hurts ain't going to do this. Hurts ain't going to do that. I've always said, I don't think it matters what the offense does. I don't think Hurts cares as long as he's winning. If you tell him to pass the ball 40 times and they're winning, I don't think he's going to give a shit. Really don't.
I agree with you. Now, going on to week 5, look at this. Jacksonville. So potentially, AJ could technically be there in week 5.
In jolly old London.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Speaking of that, okay, so let me break this down. And I saw that. Did you see
I
the
hate
email?
international games.
Did you see the email on the packages that you could actually get for this game?
I saw the email. I didn't look at the prices.
Okay. So when I first looked at the prices, now they changed. So when you click on the link, it actually goes to a website so they can update it all the time. For $1,000, and this is, the Eagles fans and everything, you could get tickets to the game and some, like you can attend the Saturday party. You get help throughout the stuff, but you don't get a hotel and you don't get flight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But if you would like a hotel, which is 3 nights, a flight, the Saturday, VIP treatment, you get a tour a bus to and from it.
Okay. I can only imagine.
Guess.
6.
Per person. Okay.
Well, 6.
$5,000 per person.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to pass.
Yeah, you know what? First of all, if I could use flight points, hotel points, and then how much the ticket's really going to cost, shit. I mean, I'd still spend less than that per person. And then there was something, and it went away really quick, and I think they kind of sold out of it, where you could get the hotel and the tickets. And it wasn't VIP treatment or something like that, but you could get the bus to and from it for $2,500 per person. But that went away really quick because when I clicked back on it, it was no longer there. I don't know if they didn't price it right or they only had a certain select amount of packages.
Yeah, I mean, against the Jaguars, I personally was never a fan of London the time that I went, so I'll pass. If it's in Hawaii or it's tropical or even Rome, I'll go for it.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to international games. I mean, I would love to attend one there, but only if I happen to be there. I'm not going there. So, yeah, and I guess the Jaguars, I mean.
Well, that's because the Jaguars play overseas constantly because they can't sell out their own home stadium. So why not try to sell out London? They don't know any better over there.
They don't. They're just seeing it. They're just like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so week 6, we got the Panthers, October 18th. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. While, I mean, this schedule is non-thrilling, that might be a good thing because of the strength of it. Let's talk about this. October 6th, week 7, home game. What is this?
Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
It is against the Cowgirls.
There's your game. That's going to be, everybody pencils the Cowboys in. At least it's a home game. I mean, by then, let's see. In the great cycle of Cowboys fandom, at that point, if you look at the pie chart, they should be in the we dem boys phase. And then right about week 10 it really isn't looking like our year. So they should still be hyped up at that point. So we could, in fact, cause the slide into the next phase of the pie chart that says, this might not be good.
Or, they could be losing all the games. So let's say they're 0-6 or something going into it. And they're like, yeah, we're going to take out the Eagles. And then all of a sudden they're 0-7. and they're already out of playoff contention.
Dak, the Dak MVP chats will be pretty much diminished at that point.
Yeah, I think they just go through the cycle. I saw a weather channel alert for, I think it was our area, or it's just a meme. It was hilarious because we are in the 90s this week, and it was like 90, 90, 90, and it said, "Look, it's like the Cowboys. We're peaking in the 90s."
It's it's funny. Did you happen to see they had the was the PGA Championship at in Philly this past weekend, and all you heard were "Go Birds"
Yes.
chants and Eagles chants. I mean, it's friggin' May.
Mailata was there. He was up in the thing too.
It's May. It never ceases to amaze me. I mean, because I'm the same way. I see random people wearing an Eagles shirt, and I'll be like, "Go Birds," or start a chant.
That's
but
the international call sign
just,
there, man.
It's just
That's
so
high,
funny.
High, doesn't matter.
It's just so funny. The Phillies are doing so good right now. The Sixers suck. But anyway, the Phillies are doing good, and it's like this town is just all Eagles. It really is. It live and die by the team. It's so refreshing that my craziness is matched by so many thousands of others.
That's exactly right. I love it. Diehard fans, go Birds out there, man.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going into week 8, back with the Commanders for November 1st. Sunday night football. What? That's really, we got an opener and then a Sunday night primetime with the.
Yeah, back to back.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah, but I'm looking at, you got the home opener against the Commanders on the 13th, and then you got a Sunday night with the Commanders on November 1st. Couldn't they find somebody else,
I guess they're thinking maybe the Commanders would be relevant. I mean, they might be good. They might be. I mean, I don't know. I look at their team. I really don't see anything that jumps out at me that's special. So I see a sub 500 team there. So it should be a win.
We've got 3 division games back to back. We got Dallas, Washington, and then New York on week 9 on November 8th.
I actually think New York is going to be better than the Commanders this year.
I think Harbaugh is definitely going to be turning that around. I think there's going to be a spark in there. I mean, Scatterboo will be back.
Yeah, you hope. Well, he's one shot away from a concussion, so.
His
but the way he runs,
concussion.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it all. All right, then we got week 10 is a bye. Dan, what are your feelings on having the bye here at week 10?
I'm actually okay with it because as we look into the rest of the schedule, they need to heal up at that point because all the fluff that was at the beginning of the schedule, there are some gauntlets in the end of the schedule. So I'm okay with it. It's kind of smack in the middle. I always hated those buys at week 5 or the buys at week 14 that just are so skewed one way or the other. So I'm actually okay with it.
I agree with you. And then we go into week 11 against the Steelers, home game on November 22nd. I'm looking forward to that game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's another close to playoff team. Should be I like the good interstate rivalry that even though Steelers for the past few years haven't really been too much of a rivalry because they haven't been that great. But anytime I get to see them cripple Aaron Rodgers, I'll be happy.
Yeah, he just signed a 1-year deal to come back, so him and McCarthy are going to reunite a little bit. So we'll see. I mean, I don't think they were really that great last year.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
he's not that great anymore. I don't understand that team's whole philosophy of waiting to sign him.
Well, if you think about it, it feels like that QB. I mean, first of all, I like Aaron Rodgers. I think he was a great quarterback, and he's way past his prime. I said was.
Right? I know. I'm just agreeing.
Okay.
Agreeing.
You're just emphasizing my was.
Yes,
a
yes.
It's like, and I can't use the Tom Brady thing mentality because he went to another team and won a Super Bowl and did really good. But it's like the Brett Favre mentality, and that's where Aaron Rodgers comes from. That thing is that they're just hanging on to one more hurrah, and hopefully we can get there. And I just don't see it.
No, he wasn't that great. I think he's past his prime. Like you said, he's past his prime. And I just, the Steelers organization as a whole isn't drafting young quarterbacks. So I'm just wondering what the hell they're thinking at this point.
Yep. All right. So going on to week 12. This is Thanksgiving football.
That is
November
nice.
26th against the Cowgirls. Why I like this? Because everybody's going to be watching this game, and we're going to see the Cowgirls lose on prime time.
Finally, good games on Thanksgiving. You know, so many times on Thanksgiving, you eat your turkey, and it's not the tryptophan that makes you tired. It's the shit quality of games that makes you tired.
It's
So
three games
finally,
and a boring. It's either a blowout or it's a back and forth. And we know the lines are playing, so they've got actually 3 games happening. I think 3 games happening on Thanksgiving. Then they got the Black Friday game that's happening, I think, and there's a whole bunch just on that
Christmas
week alone.
Eve. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. In that week. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many that's going on, and I'm looking forward to that. Week 13 against the Cardinals, December 6th, away game. Okay.
That's your fluff game. That
Yeah.
is the one game, you know. But again, it's an away game at an inferior opponent, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah. They're going to go get some sun, some warmer weather, December.
Yeah. Don't get used to it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, week 14 against the Colts on December 13th at home.
Yeah. Well, it depends on what Colts team you get. Is Daniel Jones going to play? I mean, they were so good at the beginning of last year and then fell off, and then Daniel Jones got hurt. So, I mean, either way, I think it's going to be a good game.
Year.
Mm-hmm.
Great for having Daniel Jones. I mean, it was like a resurrection for it.
No, and I think they're a good team. They're a good coach team. I was lobbying for Steichen to come here, so but that's going to be a good game. I like that game. Should be a win, but we'll get into that in a little bit.
All right, so week 15, Seattle at home, December 19th. That one's going to be a tough game, I think.
I agree, and
Sunday night too, primetime.
I think they got the best case scenario with that game, though. If you're going to play the Seahawks, who are just mauling on defense, you want them coming cross country. You don't want to have to go there because those fans are just as rowdy as our fans. So it's good to have that as a home game. So I think that's going to be a hell of a game.
And then a short turnaround to week 16, all right, for December 24th home game.
Christmas
against
Eve.
The Texans. Yeah, this is it's a very short turnaround. I mean, 5 days, there's just, I think that sucks.
I think that's stupid. You got 5 days. I guess it's like the same as having a Thursday game, but I don't know. I see NFL is trying to monopolize every single holiday, which I can see that. Why? It's money, but I don't like that short turnaround. But at least it's home. There's no traveling.
Yep. It's actually 3 back-to-back home games, so December 13th, December 19th, and December 24th. So it does work in the Eagles' favor of having 3 home games back-to-back. And there are some primetime games. Holy crap, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 primetime games, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, it's 8. Technically 8 if you count week 5.
Yeah, if you count the London. Yeah.
Yep. All right, so week 17, 49ers, away game, January 3rd, and this is a Sunday night.
Sunday night again.
This is definitely going to be I would say a tough game.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're definitely, that's going to be a challenging one, but.
Yeah, I mean, the schedule, I like the way that the schedule's structured in terms of they have a little bit of easier time in the beginning because that's when you're really finding your stride. And then you should be hitting your stride at the end of the year when they play these hard teams. So,
yep,
they're getting, the NFL's getting their wish. They're going to have the more competitive, hard fought games at the end.
Yep. All right. So week 18 against the Giants, TBD, because we don't know if it'll be, well, it will be away, but we don't know when it will be because it's the last game and they'll be flexing and moving things around according to the playoffs.
Yeah. Saturday, Sunday. Who cares?
Yeah. Yep, exactly. All right, Dan, so we're going to wrap up our show real quick with doing a win or loss. And Dan and I usually do this throughout the season before the season starts. And we put this in now. This is early on, and we will get one chance to change our predictions before, and then we'll do it before the actual week 1 regular season so we can watch some things. but I'm going to keep track of it. We're going to talk about it. We're not going to do scoring predictions until it's actually game time for it, because right now, who the freak knows?
Yeah.
And we
Who
haven't
knows?
seen other teams play. All right, Dan, what do you got for week 1, Commanders home?
Win.
All right, I got you on that one as well. Week 2, Titans away.
Blowout.
I am actually going to put blowout just to see.
That's not exactly a bold prediction. The Titans are shit.
Yeah. All right, so week 3 against the Bears.
I am going to have that as a win.
I'm right there with you. So far, I have win-win with you. And I think week 3 is really where you're going to start to see them light it up, hopefully, with their offense and they come together. I'm not too worried about the defense, to be honest with you. We were worried last year with the defense versus the offense. Now this year we're reversed.
Yeah, because, I mean, there were spots in which we said that they were going to struggle in because we all said, who's going to be cornerback 2? They're really going to have trouble, and they had trouble. So now they got Reek Woolen, and finally we can just scrap the whole idea of Dory Jackson and Keely Ringo and fucking... Okay. Anyway, next game.
Yeah, we'll be done. All right, week 4 against LA, October 4th, home game.
I have to be realistic. I do think this is a loss.
Sorry. I'm going with a win on this. I'm going with a win. I don't know. I think we're going to have a Saquon breakout game on this. Let's just put it that way.
Well, write down Saquon breakout.
I am. I put Saquon. All right, week 11, Jaguars.
Win.
I already put it. Win. I already knew what you were going to pick. All right, week 6, Panthers.
Win.
Week 7, Cowgirls, home.
Home, win. Think they're going to split the season series.
I think they usually do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm torn with this one. I think I might be changing this one. I'm putting a win now, but I think this home one's going to be a loss, and I think the away one's going to be a win.
Yeah, I think either way they split.
Yeah, I think they split, but I'm torn on week 7. I'm gonna put a question mark for me because I think this is one that I'm going to change later on. Week 8, Commanders, November 1st.
Win.
All right, week 9, Giants, November 8th, home.
I wonder. Really didn't think I'd have this many wins in the schedule, but it's working out favorably.
Remember, you will have one chance to change your prediction
It's subject to change.
Subject. What are you putting? Win?
Well, I'm putting win, yeah.
Okay.
It's May. It's May. It's optimistic. No, I said I wonder. I was being sarcastic. It's a win.
All right. Let's see. Okay. I still have wins. I mean, what is... I don't want to sound like a homer here. Okay. Week 10 is going to be a win. Bye.
Guaranteed.
Yep. All right. Week 11, Steelers.
Win.
And if I don't say anything, it's a win for me. Week 12.
For me, it's a loss because it's a split. Yeah.
I'm going to put a loss on mine as well, but I am putting question marks by ours because I don't know. We're going to do our predictions before the season, but we still will change some predictions going into the game based off of things progress because obviously you don't know how things are going. But, hey, Dan and I might be right at one point. All right, week 13, Cardinals.
Win.
Week 14, Colts. Let's just say you have Daniel Jones back, and he is playing like he did before he got injured.
I still think it's a win. If I look at both rosters, I think the Eagles have the roster.
All right. Week 15, Seattle, home game. I'm putting a loss. If they play like they played throughout the season in this, I hate to put losses during home games because, you don't want to go down and drive home depressed, but that's where I'm at.
I do think that's going to be a win.
All right. Okay. Texans.
I think that's a loss.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I got 2 losses back to back, which are not happy. All right, week 17th, 49ers.
Well, it's funny that you say that because I actually think the 49ers are going to be a loss too. The cross-country travel.
Yeah, but let's see, they have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days. So 11 days after December 4th, 24th. So I am on a win. And it's weird because when they play the 49ers, they flop wins and losses. Every other time they play each other, it's a win or loss. Okay, week 18 against the Giants.
Okay, if they're playing their starters, it's a win.
Well, yeah. They're there. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. So Dan's got 4 losses throughout the season, and I have 3. Subject to change.
Yeah, I think that's pretty solid. I mean, it's always subject to change because of injuries and because of things, but I mean, if the team plays to their potential, and I'll be honest with you, when I heard the AJ Brown thing a long time ago, I was like, the offense is going to drop off because he is, I hate his mouth, but he is a superstar. Even though he didn't play well this past year, he still is a superstar receiver. But they've done such a good job at backfilling that with Lemon and Wicks and Hollywood Brown that I actually think that their receiver core is going to be better this year than it was last year, because now you're not going to have to be obligated to pass to one guy to shut him up. You can spread it out. You're still going to have Devontae Smith, who should always get the bulk of your passes, but now you're going to have a weapon in Mekhi Lemon, who we're assuming is going to take the slot, and Wicks, and I think it's going to be easier to spread the ball around.
It's not going to be a me thing type deal where every player, I mean, look at Smith throughout the entire season. He wasn't complaining and bitching. He wasn't getting the ball. He was out there trying every single aspect of it. Now he's going to be the number 1, and he's still not going to bitch and think. He's going to want you to spread it around.
No, he's going to get his. That's the thing.
Yep.
He's a great player. He is a number 1 receiver on 90% of these teams, so I'm not worried at all about him taking the reins.
Yep, exactly. All right, everybody, before I wrap it up, Dan, why don't you close us out?
Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting season. I'm so glad that we're talking about football again, even though it's going to be a while, a long 3 months. But hopefully we get a recording in soon, because we should have a resolution to this AJ saga finally. No more books will be read. So I think the Eagles have done a great job constructing the roster and have that potential to be, again, a top team in the NFC. And it shouldn't be that much of a struggle.
Yep, definitely agree. Everybody, this has been the Philly Fan Radio. I'm John Meyer along with Dan Palmieri. And Dan?
Go Birds!
Go Birds!